Today, I'm going to be trying out Castmagic. This is an AI tool that lets you upload any audio or video file, and then you can repurpose it into pretty much any form of content you can imagine. So for example, if you got a full-length YouTube video and you want to create some shorts for social media, Castmagic can do that for you. Or let's say you want to grab your video and repurpose into a Google Doc, blog post, tweet, even a carousel, all within a few clicks. Castmagic does that as well. But how well does any of this work? Well, in this video, I'm going to be putting Castmagic to a test. By the way, Castmagic is back on AppSumo for a very short period of time. If you watch this video and you find Castmagic to be a good fit for you and you want to grab it, you can actually go ahead and grab my link down below in the description. And with all that being said, let's get into this video. So here's the Castmagic interface, and the first thing you need to understand about Castmagic is you want to create something called a space for each type of content that you want to repurpose. So if you've got YouTube videos you want to upload, you'll create a YouTube space. And since most of you guys are obviously YouTubers, let's do that. But in general, anything that you want to have kind of a workflow around for content for summarization, you'll create a dedicated space for that content type. And by the way, there is no limit on how many spaces you can create. The limits with Castmagic are just based around how much you actually upload to the platform in minutes, and you can organize them into unlimited spaces. Now, the reason that you use those dedicated spaces is they have prompts built into the space, and those prompts will fire off automatically when you upload content. So let's actually go ahead and make a space, see what it does and how it's done. So the first thing you need to do is choose the name. I will just choose AI Guy YouTube. Now you can choose the label type. So that could be number, season with episode number, free form, or none. I'll just choose I guess a number that works. You can obviously also choose the language that the content is going to be made in. As you can see, they got quite a few. And then you can do a magic word. So here you can include basically spelling suggestions for Castmagic to keep in mind. So basically, if you have particular words that need to be, addressed in a specific way, you write them out here. And in the last one, you can also write out a context prompt. So in this case, it's additional prompts that will be injected into Castmagic's AI, used to provide directions specific to recordings in this space. So, and since I'm making this space for myself, I wrote here, I make videos about AI tools and YouTube automation, which makes perfect sense. And now just click on save space, and just like that, you got yourself a new space. And as you can see here below, it actually, depending on your choice, you're going to get different options. So for example, if we go with YouTube, the prompts that are going to be preset here are going to be for titles, YouTube keywords, timestamps, description, clip finder, email, newsletters, and etc. So looks super useful, and that's obviously what I'm going to go with. So let's go with that. So as you can see here on the left side, our new space has been made. And now at this point, you need to upload an audio file or a video file. So you do that right here once you create the space. So let's click on that. And as you can see, Castmagic AI is going to give you a few options to do that. So first and foremost, you can just straight up upload a file. So let's say if you edited the file on your own PC, you can just export it and upload it directly. Or if you're, let's say you're working with an editor like myself. So I have like a video that's being edited as we speak. In fact, the editor I work with just submitted me the draft. So I'm just going to go ahead and literally copy the link to the draft and paste it right here, as it gives us an option to paste a Google Drive file. But additionally, you have an option to paste a Loom video, for example, to, have summarized, and obviously YouTube videos. Also, we got Vimeo and Instagram and all these other social medias, which I think is super cool. And so after I go ahead and paste the link here and click on submit, as you can see, it's going to appear right here in the recordings within your space. And it will take a few moments to upload, but this file size is about 1 gigabyte. And as you can see, it's uploading rapidly fast. And then here at the bottom, I should mention that you have an option to also plug in Zapier. So if any of you guys are into automations, you can automate a lot of things. And I'm not going to mention that in this video, but let me know if you do want to see Zapier integrations within this app as well. But the thing that excites me as well, and I'm actually going to use that feature as well, is the Zoom, plugin basically. And the way I'm personally going to use it is, as you can see, I have this community, right, where I do live weekly calls. So that's me. And as you can see, pretty much every week we just sit down here and like roast channels and whatever. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because these calls are typically quite long. So anywhere from 50 to 60 minutes. And so because I am reviewing people's channels, there is typically a lot of value that's being thrown around, or in general, cool questions are being asked, and useful answers are being given. So with all that being said, what we do then is we take these recordings, we have a way to basically extract scripts with AI and then summarize them into those value posts. But it still all takes time. Like, it's still a hassle. Well, now I'm basically going to integrate Zoom and have my Zoom calls summarized all with AI, which is also super cool in my opinion. But anyway, as I was talking here, our video has been fully uploaded. So let's actually get into it and see what we can do. All right, so now let's go into the video and actually see what we can do. So immediately we're going to see the player, and here we have the transcript. Now, as some of you may know, I already see the first value point of this tool. Actually, we also have this player that pops up. Not sure how it's useful. Let's see if I can close it. Yeah, I can close it, whatever. Yeah, we have this script, and the first use case I can already see is, in your videos, I recommend you always upload an actual file for your subtitles. So to do that, you would go to your YouTube video, and then you can click on subtitles, and here you have an option to upload a file, right? So an SRT file. An SRT file is specifically a file of, saved captions. It's just what's it called. And so typically it's also a hassle, and it's also a separate process, because I would just, to extract that file, normally I would put the video in CapCut or something like that and then download it from there. But it's still essentially taking the video into a different software, and it cannot be done all in one place. Now here they have this download button right here, so you can click that and literally download the SRT file and then just take it to YouTube just like that and upload it right away, which is super cool. And after you upload your captions, as you can see, because I already know some of you are wondering, like, why would you even do that? What's the point? Because when you go inside of your video and you click on subtitles right here, you can see that one of my videos that had an SRT file uploaded to it has has subtitles in over 30 languages, which allows my video to rank and be available to even broader audience, which ultimately leads to more views. And that's why I do it, and that's why it's a cool feature. Anyway, the next feature I want to show you within this tool is it's actually quite an interesting feature. So basically, to access this feature, you need to first select a part of the script. So maybe my video is a tutorial, so it's not the best example, but imagine we're talking about Andrew Tate and a podcast with Andrew Tate. I'm sure you guys, you go to Shorts, you would see clips of this guy all the time. So what you can do is, let's imagine my video is a podcast, right? Or, something in that nature. You want to clip like one sentence, okay? Because, this guy can say one sentence and I'm sure it's going to go viral, right? Like it always happens. So let's imagine this sentence would make a good short, right? Like you think this would make a good video. So all you do is you literally select this sentence, and then you're going to have audiogram available to you, an image or cap. So you can click on audiogram, and as you can see, and so what you can do is you can click on audiogram, and it's going to give you this audio-like file that you could post on Instagram as a trendy quote. So let's take a look. All right, so now that you've seen how cool and realistic it looks, let's actually get into it and create our first clone together. Now it's obviously me just yapping about some AI stuff, so of course it doesn't sound that amazing, but again, keeping in mind that we just live podcast and you just got someone saying something viral or controversial, that would make for a cool Instagram post. So, but another way to utilize that is you can click on image, and you can have this as a quote. Basically, maybe I need to select smaller amount of text, like literally one sentence. So, and that would make a cool post. And actually, I can even show you a cool use case of how this would work, or who utilizes this and how. So as you can see, Alex Hermosi is good at this kind of style of content. So as you can see, he posts these literal quotes, like posts. I'm not sure what's the right way to call it, but it's just a post. It's just a quote, and it's got 17,000 likes, 14,000 likes, 11,000 likes. So, it gets crazy views and impressions, and it's just text. Okay, so you can really extract it that way as well. Here at the bottom, by the way, you can click on this button to change the format. So I'm not sure how you would use it as a 16:9, to be honest, just not seeing where you would post it, but it's still available, of course. But for instance, you can do 9:16 and post it on, on Instagram as a reel, or you can do 4:5, or, just a standard square post. And additionally, you can actually click right here at the top on the captions, and that way you're gonna have a literal clip of your video. So the actual stuff that was happening in the video, you can get a clip of it just like that. All right, so before we click on create content here, which is really all the fun stuff starts to happen, because we're just scratching the surface here, we need to do something important to actually proceed, so let me just show you. You click on speakers right here, and then we need to what's called assign a speaker, right? So in my case, it's just me, it's one speaker, but if you were doing a podcast, let's say, you could actually define multiple speakers, and that would allow you to even have more customization over your script. But in this case, it is just me, so I'm gonna click on speaker A, and I'm just gonna give myself a name. So I'm Igor, and I'm just gonna write myself as that, and click on create new speaker. And so now I have been assigned to every single sentence, as you can see. But let me just show you the what I mean. So we can add a new speaker. So let's say whatever, John, right? And so I can assign, let's say, this sentence to John, and for whatever reason we can have this as John. And then again, if this is like a Zoom meeting and you want to know what person was saying what, that's obviously useful. Now let me switch it back to myself. And lastly, you can actually click right here on edit script, as you can see, and you can edit the actual script, right? So you can type something, whatever you want, and then going back to this feature, you can then edit the script and then clip it, do whatever you want with it. But that should be more or less simple. Just the important thing here is to assign a speaker, as I did. That's just kind of necessary in order for us to proceed. But once you do that, let's actually click on create content. And so it's now basically generating all the content for us, every single thing that could be done with the help of this script. Essentially, with basically it's going to show us every single way and how this video could be repurposed in the form of text, and every optimization feature. So yeah, let's just give it a moment, and I'll be right back once everything is generated. All right, so here's everything that's been generated. Now I understand how it might seem just a little bit overwhelming, so you know what, I'm just gonna go through each of the things step by step, and let's just break it down and see how it works. So the first one should be probably the easiest to understand. It's the titles. And so here, well, yeah, we can just choose the title. So let's say I like title number 4. Okay, so I chose it. Now this whole thing is about not only generating stuff for you, but also helping you automate certain things. And not only you, but it's especially useful if you're working with a team, but you don't have to be working in a team. So let me show you what I mean. You see here in the kind of the top right, you can click on add to pipeline. And what it does is it basically creates some kind of a reminder for yourself. So, let's say I think I can edit this. Well, I actually just mentioned that I want to go with title number 4, but let's say I'm not sure yet. Okay, so I can write something like choose title and put it in the YouTube Studio. All right, so here it is, choose title and add to YouTube Studio. Now, that's where the fun part starts. So, let's say today is what? Today is March 21st, but let's say the video is still being edited and I can really post it maybe, let's say on March 26th. So I don't know, how many of you guys are content creators at scale, but I'm pretty scaled up. And so what I mean by that is like, I can have like, 3 or 4 videos being in production within the same week. It's insane. I cannot keep everything in mind. It's, I will literally go insane if I was to try to keep everything in mind. So that's why I have a lot of notifications going off on Telegram, on Notion, on Calendar. But now this tool allows you to really center all of your sort of a management stuff. So for instance, again, let's say the video is being edited right now. It'll be done editing, let's say by March 24th, and I want to publish this video on March 26th. So I want to have a reminder for myself on March 25th, or for my teammate, that, by the next day, the video needs to be fully optimized and titled. So what I can do is I can go back here and I can create a schedule. So I'll put March 25th, 2025. So that way there will be an, notification that will go off the day before we need to post it saying, hey, make sure to add all the metadata. I think you get the point by now. And we can also assign it to the space as well. So yeah, and obviously the notification is going to come to your email. So make sure you check your email as well if you're going to be using this strategy. And then you can also label it here as well. So, you can also customize the labels, obviously, but let's just call it, long form. And so now we can click on add to pipeline. And yeah, this first section has been taken care of. And now we can continue to the next step. But before we actually continue, let me actually exit out and really show you what we just did so that maybe it makes sense to you. First of all, as you can see, when I entered, it was closed off because it's been kind of taken care of, if you will. And now it says view in pipeline, right? So instead of saying add to pipeline, it is now a part of the pipeline. That makes sense. And so let's go back on the homepage, and on the left side here, I'm going to click on content pipeline. And as you can see, this thing is right here sitting. Actually, by the way, I changed the title so it's more visual. But yeah, now it says choose title and add to YouTube Studio, March 25th. And so you can either open up this AI tool and see, okay, well, by March 25th, I need to do this and that. Or you can even click right here on the plus sign in the top right and invite team members to collaborate. Obviously, my plan is not suitable, but if you go hard enough and you can afford it, you could work with teammates. And if that's the route you're going to take, I mean, you just imagine the potential. It's like Notion on steroid. Now, same goes for keywords. You can also just, revise those keywords, and then you can actually just copy those. As you can see, also the format here is very nice. So as you can see, we can just copy those. And let's say I want to use those in my actual video. So I can actually go to a video and let's see if the format is going to work. I mean, I know for a fact it's going to work, but I'm just showing you guys. So as you can see, it's going to be pasted as perfect, YouTube keywords. Now, it did paste only 300 of the characters. So I would recommend to fill it up with, the remaining ones. But now, of course, you can also add it to a pipeline, same as the titles. You can also schedule it for whatever day you need it to be scheduled. So March 25th, 2025, and then unassigned, now assign it to our space, and then add a label, and boom, it's gonna all appear within the same timeline, within the same time frame. Now, same goes for timestamps. You can also do that if you want to. I'll do that here real quick, just so, by the end of this procedure, we can see the final output and how it all looks like. So this one is interesting as well. This is called Clip Finder. So you can, going back to the previous transcript feature, same mechanics apply here. So we can select a text, right? And then let's say we want to use this as a clip. So we click right here on open in studio, and the good old familiar interface opens up. So you can either use that as a quote, or you could clip your own video and literally make a clip out of it just by scanning your text. Think about that. Now, again, my own channel is probably not the best, use case for this particular feature. But again, going back to Andrew Tate scenario, right? If you're running like a podcast channel or a clips channel, or you're just clipping videos, right? There is a, online hustle nowadays trending, just clipping creators and uploading them on TikTok. That's just brilliant for your use case. So yeah, and whatever clips you make, you can also then schedule them to pipeline just like that, which is super cool. Now, the next thing, we can move on now. So the next feature I want to talk about, which is also super cool, and it just blows my mind, every single feature, because email newsletter. Let me take a step back and explain to you guys something. So every now and then when I post a video, I will make an email exactly like this, which is basically, the goal of this email is to inform the audience that I just dropped a video, right? And it takes time. Even obviously I would, I wouldn't actually write it. I would make it with AI, but still I have to go to ChatGPT, make the prompt, you know, paste the script. It's all still effort, but in this case, it's literally obviously automated, and it doesn't even look that bad. Obviously, I would fix AI buffs, right? Not sure what's that all about, but in general, looks awesome. Amazing structure. Yes, it would take minor refining, which I'll do later on, but as a draft, it looks amazing. And actually, as I was, you know, brainstorming here, I brought up an interesting example. So we can add it to a pipeline, but not as a finished product. So as I told you just now, it's a cool draft, but I don't have time right now to edit it, let's say, but I will edit it later on before I post it. So what you can do is in the title, you can say to be edited, and then within the title, you can type in send by March 25th. So you're kind of giving a status to your now newly created email. And then again, you go all the way back down, you select the day, obviously assign it, choose a label, and just like that. Or we can actually put it the day before the other ones because it does need efforts from our side. And just like that, it's been added to the pipeline and it's now waiting for us to attend this matter. So I'm also going to be closing off all the things that's kind of been attended already. Now the next thing is key topics and bullets. Now you can absolutely get creative with how you use it. So as for myself, for example, you often see me use those Google Docs and videos. So anytime I'll post a video like this, when it's like a full course, right? Oftentimes I'll have a Google Doc attached in my video. So you can either do that and use it as some kind of a lead magnet, or post it as a summary. Maybe you have a Telegram channel and you want to just, you know, upload a quick summary there. Whatever you want to use it for, it can be used 100%, which is super cool. Honestly, take my advice. If you're making educational content specifically, you always want to give your viewers, even if it's just a simple Google Doc, and it's obviously AI generated and it's so easy to make, but it just gives your videos a sense of, you know, hey, this guy put in extra effort and he made a Google Doc for us. So it just makes it look much more professional, if you will. So that's a pro tip here, and I would recommend you making these Google Docs when it's suitable. And so yeah, for example, actually speaking of that, let's say you do want to make it a Google Doc. So, you know, let's say we can right here make a Google Doc, and imagine you are working with a virtual assistant, let's say, and as I mentioned previously, if you go in with a more expensive plan, you can add your team members in here. So yeah, I mean, that way you can just literally write the job specifics within the file's title and just assign it to your employees, or obviously do it yourself. So next one is the YouTube to tweets. Now you could tweet those, which is super cool. For example, AI token avatars are revolutionizing the digital landscape. Entire social media profiles are now powered by these digital personas, automating content and growing brands. Again, probably my content, like this is a tutorial video, so it's not the best one to be quoted up, but if it was someone like Andrew Tate or Alex Hermosi, as you can see, yeah, by the way, so going back to this example, it can also be used in that way. So if you just get a little extra creative, or I'm sure you can just select it and turn it into a tweet from here. Yeah, you can again open in Studio, and yeah, probably captions is not the best thing here. You might want to use that one. By the way, you can also edit the text here. So let's say I want to just write AI guy, and then I can even upload a custom picture. So let's say I want to get this picture, and that looks somewhat better, as you can see. So then you can click on export right here, and boom, your tweet is now being exported, which is super cool. But for now, I'm going to close it off because it's not really applicable to my channel. Now, questions. So if you are running a community, like let's say I'm running a community, so when I post a video, maybe I could make, you know, copy this and post it in the community, asking people, hey, I just posted a video. Now let's say, you know, let's test your attention. So go ahead and answer these questions. So people will be like, oh wow, he posted a video and he dropped questions. So let's actually watch his video and answer those questions, you know, something like that. Or if you have a Telegram channel like myself, you can also just post it on there and have people watch your video and, you know, do the same thing. Honestly, not really sure what's the best way to utilize those, but I'm sure there is a way to use them nonetheless if you get creative enough. But if not, it's not a problem. You can always just skip. But in my case, if it's just really not applicable, doesn't even make sense to have it, you can click here on the triple dot and simply disable this feature. And lastly, similar to tweets, we can also post on threads by Instagram, or you guessed it, again, if we're going to be copying this format from Alex Hermosi, you can just, you know, literally also select those and make those cards out of these, which is super nice. So with that said, we've kind of finished this section off. We've gone through every single thing. And with all that being said, let's continue to the next step. And so as you can see, here's our pipeline. So again, just to loop back on what we just did, all we did is we pasted a single link, which was then transcribed into a full transcript. Then from that very same single link, we made a bunch of content, or we made titles, SEO, description, we got timestamps, we got lips, we got emails, we got a potential Google Doc, we got 11 tweets and 11 threads and questions that we kind of disregarded from that single link. Then we got also work created, basically, right? So those tasks were kind of also generated for us, and those are key tasks. And here we also scheduled them. We could assign people to those if my plan was different. And now with all that said, we can click on Magic Chat and proceed to the next step. And so this Magic Chat feature is fairly new, so let's try it out real quick. And I suppose you can basically, it's like ChatGPT, but based on your videos. So as you can see here at the bottom, it's going to allow you to, you know, choose your source. So I'm going to obviously click on the HeyGen video video that I gave it. So to do that, just click on select recordings and then select your video just like so. Let's just ask it any random question and actually verify that it has access to our video. So I'm just going to ask it summarize my video, and as you can see, it's going to go ahead and summarize my video. So that's just to make you believe that it actually works and it's actually connected to your video. Now again, my video is just a tutorial, so I don't really know what to ask it, but again, I'm sorry I keep going back to this example, but if you are doing this kind of content, which is this format dominates social media literally, so why would you not make this kind of content besides YouTube? And so if you were to make it and you could plug in your podcast video or whatever video where you're just speaking, normal video, not tutorial, you can ask it, hey, like, what's the most viral takes within this video, or what are the most controversial takes within this video, or give me top 10 most valuable sentences from this video, something like that. So you can use it for creative ways of basically summarizing your video in extremely small amount of time. Anyway, now we can go to Studio, and as you can see, the image that we once exported is now here, so we can download it. And so just like that, we basically have gone over the key principles and features of this tool. And now let me briefly show you the pricing of this tool and how you can get it for yourself. So here we are on AppSumo's deal page. Now, if you haven't purchased this tool by this point in the video and you are going to do it, or at least considering doing it, make sure to grab my link down below because it does support my content, and it's a no-brainer for you. But anyway, this tool starts off at just $59, but there is a catch to that $59. And what is interesting here is that plans on tier 1 and tier 2 are not lifetime deals, they're annual plans. So $59 for tier 1, and tier 1 is 1 year of access. Tier 2, on the other hand, is 3 years of access. I don't believe these will renew at these rates, by the way, so do check on that. But as far as I understand, this is kind of a one-time purchase to get discounted access to the service. And if you want to go all the way up to tiers 3 or above, there's actually 5 in total, you will get lifetime access. Now it's going to be $400, which honestly I feel like is kind of worth. This tool is amazing and the limits are really, really good. By the way, all of the plans get all the features. It's just the number of minutes you'll get per month. And then once you jump up to tier 4, you'll get multiple workspaces. So what I showed you in the video was just one workspace, and then I kept mentioning, hey, you can just hire someone and outsource the workspace. That's the plan you're going to need if you're going to do that. But besides the point of adding your team members, all the other features like Magic Chat, long form AI, unlimited regenerations, media clipping, all of that, the audiograms, those are all included on every single plan. So it really comes down to how many minutes you want to get and accordingly what plan you're going to need for that. So anyway, just to clarify, the lowest lifetime deal here starts at $400 if that's what you were planning to get. But anyway, just choose wisely, analyze the amount of content you're going to be producing per month, and make your decision accordingly. Now, as always, shout out to AppSumo for partnering up with me for this video. And as always, if you want to watch more content like this on my channel, just click on screen now and you're going to be taken to the next video.